Something that may cause confusion is if I remove everything from here and also this one. If we add something like const heading and we add document get elements by tag name and we add an h1 and we send this value to the console. Heading, save this, and you can see that this is by name. Here it should be get elements by tag name. Sorry, was my mistake. You can see that this is returning only one element. The get elements by tag name can be used to return one or more elements. In the other hand, the query selector, if it finds more than one element, is going to return only one. Maximum is going to be one. But get elements by tag name can return only one element if one element matches the selection. But if there is more than one element, it's going to return all the elements that it found. So get elements by tag name is going to return everything, and get elements by ID is going to return maximum of one element. So that's important and maybe a little confusing. So we're gonna remove everything from here. If you remember in the last video, we added something like this. Const cards equals to document query selector, and we added card. Then we send these cards to the console, and it's returning only the first element, which is going to be this course. If you want to return all the cards with all the divs or sections, all the elements that contains this card class, you have to use query selector all in this case. And now you can see that this is returning all the different cards that we have in our design. Also, you can use, for example, we're gonna add something like courses, and you have card, you can add h4. Remember query selector, and query selector all share this functionality or these selectors similar to CSS. So you can see we have a not list, which is similar to an array. So for example, you can add courses and the position 0. In this case, it's going to return h4 with the text HTML5, CSS3, and JavaScript for beginners. You can add a dot right here, text content, save this, and it's going to print this value. Let's remove this, and you can see that this is returning a not list. So we can convert that not list similar as we did with the images. So right here I'm going to add courses. Let's add something like courses array equals to array.from courses, and then we're going to add courses array that for each function course, and then we're gonna console log the course and also the text content like this. We're gonna remove this, save this, and now you can see we have all the course name that we have in these cards, card h4. Let's scroll to the bottom. Here we have these links. You can see this one has this ID for primary. So we're gonna make an example using those. We're gonna see, for example, how to select auth links, and we're going to add something like this. Const auth links is going to be equals to document dot query selector all, because we want to retrieve all the links. Then I'm gonna filter this using primary, so it's going to select only the elements that exist in this primary. Is going to ignore these ones, the secondary links. They have the same class, but I'm going to add primary right here. And we can use this primary like this, similar to a CSS selector. Then the anchor, which is going to be the class, the tag, and we're gonna add nth child, and we can use auth. So from here you can add something like this, auth links. You don't have to convert this into an array. You can add something like this directly. Function, and we're gonna give the name of auth, and then I'm going to add auth dot style dot background color, and we're going to add red, and then we're going to add auth style dot color, and we're going to add white. So save this, and now you can see that the 1, the 3, and the 5th element are going to be with this CSS red and white. So for example, you can copy this. Let's create a comment that says select event links, and we're gonna change the variable even. And right here, the selector is going to be nth child even, like this. Then we're gonna copy this collection. You can convert this into an array, but you can also do this directly like this function. And we're gonna add even. And we're gonna copy this. Copy this and paste. I'm gonna select this odd, and I'm going to add even. But instead of printing this as a red background, we're gonna add blue. So save this, and now you can see we have one of these in red and the other ones in blue. So one last example, I'm gonna remove everything from here. Of course, I recommend that you keep these codes and save, and I'm gonna inspect this. You can see that this button, this anchor, has this class add to cart. So we're going to add something like this: const add cart btns is going to be all the buttons. We're gonna change all the add to cart button text in this example. This is going to be equals to document dot query selector all. So this is going to return all the different buttons, and we're gonna select using this class add to cart. So we use a dot add to cart. Then I'm gonna send this value to the console just to make sure that this is working and we don't have any errors. You can see we have this node list. We can convert this into an array, but we can also loop this directly. I'm gonna loop this directly like we did in the last example. Add cart btns dot for each function, and we're gonna pass a button. So the singular name is going to be button. All the node list is going to be this variable. So finally, we're going to add button dot text content equals to something new, and save this. And now you can see if I close this, you can see that all the buttons have changed the text to something new. So if you want to continue practicing this, I recommend that you change, for example, these prices, also this one, the name of the author. Continue practicing, and you will see that the power of this query selector and the different selectors that we have in JavaScript. Of course, all the projects are going to be using this syntax, so there is a lot of practice left, but this is the basics that you need to know. In the next video, we're going to take a look at traversing the DOM, and this is going to be a really important topic, so let's continue working in the next video.